Friends, in India, the art of cartoons was started at the British Age. Keshav Shankar Pillai is known as the father of cartoon art. After Shankar, the art of cartoon was developed very slowly in India, and at present, there were many cartoonists in each and every state with different languages in cartoonists as working. Among them, one name who is continuously working very hard with his love, passion and energy since 27 years to publish a cartoon magazine named Cartoon Watch, none other than Mr. Triambak Sharma. Cartoon Watch magazine with Mr. Triambak Sharma as its editor has been in publication from Raipur for the past 27 years. The magazine has been organizing cartoon festivals at different centers including Raipur, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Pune since 2003 to honor our veteran cartoonist R.K. Lakshman, Balasaheb Thackeray, Pran, Abid Surti, Ajit Menon, Surendra, Keshav, Shubhani, Shankar, V.G. Narendra are among those honored by Cartoon Watch in the past. Former President late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was the chief guest of the Cartoon Festival held at Delhi at 2011. Cartoon Watch magazine is included in the Limca Book, India Book of Records and Unique World Records for its record as its only monthly bilingual cartoon magazine of India. Now, I invite Professor D.V.R. Murthy, Andhra University, to say a few words.
Good evening, guests on the dignitaries on the dais and the people of the dais. And I received a phone call from Triambak Sharma suddenly, I think 4 to 5 days back. Yeah. He asked me to come for this program that they want to honor 3 cartoonists from Andhra Pradesh, particularly in Visakahapatnam. I agreed because I was so hesitant to speak because I started my career as a journalist. I was associated with the English newspapers and I was seeing cartoons in newspapers. That's how I know about cartoons. But one interesting point I want to bring to your notice that in fact in India we tried to do research on cartoons. Nobody attempted research in India, particularly there are so many newspapers are there and many cartoonists are there. Cartoons are also there, but nobody attempted to do research on this art. And we made an attempt in 2006, 7 and 8. And we wanted to do some kind of research on Telugu newspapers which are publishing cartoons differently. They have got their own editorial policy, which I do not want to speak here. The interesting point is we could not locate material to start and do research work on cartoons in India. So incidentally, what happened, who first drew the cartoon in India? We were searching for some books. We came across in 1 or 2 articles that in 1850s there was a book known as Delhi Sketchbook. Long back, which we did not see it here. And then we were looking into other cartoons. Another gentleman by name Out Punch, there is another cartoon. It was also there in Uttar Pradesh. They published the cartoons. Then they ceased the publication. We did not know much about it. We did not see it. But then incidentally, we started working on Telugu newspapers, who was the first cartoonist in Andhra Pradesh who did this type of cartooning. So we understand and we have come to know that one gentleman by name Talisit Ramarao, I think he was the first cartoonist we could locate. We tried to find the book that he published. Small book we could get about the cartoons did by him. And what we noticed in that small book, Talisit Ramarao's book, it was in 1930s, the sketches were not so understandable for the common people. And he was trying to give some type of a sketch for the different characters. And that was the book we could locate in Andhra Pradesh. Then we started working on newspapers, other things. You know, some part of the history, I think well-known cartoonists are here. They know much about cartooning and other things. One point I want to bring to your notice in this context is very interesting. We all know about R.K. Lakshman and And one character he created is a common man you find in his cartoons who speaks about common man's problems. He was a witness to the events that were happening in India for many times. And one point where there's cartooning, they can give you different messages depending upon the person who sees the cartoon. Whether the cartoon wants to give a particular message to the cartoon is not known sometimes, but the way how you understand the cartoon, that's the interesting point in the art of cartooning. I don't call it a skill. Cartooning is an art, like photography. So the way how the cartoonist thinks about a cartoon, how he designs it, that creates not only fun, it plays a very important role in society. And mostly we forget and we remember that a cartoon is only for some kind of a fun. No, if you see the cartoons from newspapers over a period of time, you will understand the contemporary situation that is prevailing in a particular country. For example, 2006, 2007, 2008, we were studying newspapers, particularly Telugu newspapers. We found out many newspapers, particularly two newspapers, drew cartoons on Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy. You know, one is Eenadu and another one is Jyoti. Both newspapers were publishing more number of cartoons, particularly editorial cartoon they were publishing it. And each cartoon was a criticism of the contemporary government at that point of time. So they depicted and created some kind of an education, also awareness in society. That is the great art of cartoon that we see it in newspapers. And sometimes people say it as, even if you read a news item, it may not convey the complete meaning, but whereas a peculiar cartoon will create such kind of an impact on the people. So one such cartoon I saw it in Eenadu newspaper once. I'll bring it to your notice. That the subscriber of the newspaper was saying that, asking the newspaper boy, don't bring the newspaper to my house, because my children are learning all the filthy language from your newspaper, don't bring it to me. So that emphasizes the context in which newspapers have downgraded themselves in giving such kind of language to society. And normally we expect newspapers to elevate the sense, also language uses, but now you see it in modern newspapers, the language you are learning, and that's how it depicts the society. So each cartoon plays an important role, particularly in a country like India. People watch, read, and learn many things from cartoons. But the art of cartooning, the pity with the art of cartooning in India is the youngsters are not catching up. And I have come across many universities, nobody offers a course on cartooning in India. And we are also not preparing, we are preparing journalists, but we are not preparing cartoonists. Right. So there is a need, particularly in the Indian context, and there should be a syllabus for cartooning, and people should teach. And so whatever the senior cartoonists are here, they must train at least 3 or 4 people so that this art will survive for many years, and it will be very useful to the next generation. That is the need. The particular point here I want to bring to your notice is, as long as newspapers live, cartooning will also be there with the newspapers. If you see the history of cartooning, in fact, 1850s, when you go to America, so there was a cartoonist by name Goddard, and he was hijacked by 2 newspapers. So one newspaper was publishing a cartoon. The cartoon was a laughing kid. In the 1850s, there was improvement in technology of using color. One newspaper was putting yellow color to that cartoon, and it became so popular around 1850s and 60s. And subsequently, other newspaper hijacked this cartoonist to use the same laughing kid to do it. And at the same time, in American history, these 2 newspapers were sensationalizing the news to increase the circulation. Since they were also using yellow color to the cartoon, and many people call it as yellow journalism. But yellow color has got nothing to do with journalism, nor yellow journalism has got nothing to do with yellow journalism. And they were using yellow color in that particular newspaper. And it was a laughing kid. The irony is, the cartoon was very funny. It was very, the boy was very laughing. But the journalism that was associated at that period was known as sensational journalism. So now people say the yellow journalism is associated with that concept. In fact, it is not. It has got nothing to do. But cartoons can play both the positive role and also negative role. I'll give you two instances to you. One is Indian Express newspaper around 1988-89. Probably if you know and see the cartoons, Congress party was spending huge money on its campaign to win the elections. And the next day morning, Indian Express was carrying one cartoon, which was denting the Congress party's campaign. I give you one instance because the gentleman is not alive. So the one-day campaign in Congress party was, "My heart beats for India." And you know, next day morning there was a small cartoon. It says, "My heart beats for Italy." So it completely dented their campaign, 88-89. So huge money they spent on advertisements. Single cartoon in Indian Express spoiled the entire campaign. They ran so many days. And another interesting point in Andhra Pradesh particularly was in 1993. I think Enadu newspaper ran a campaign for 1 year on liquor ban. They called it a Saramsam. So 1 year they ran a campaign. So a cartoonist with a lot of ability can draw cartoons for years together on a single theme. So that is the ability of a cartoon who can design, who can prepare cartoons for 360 days. So that's the way how you can look at society. And a cartoonist who does not simply create cartoons, he has command over all the subjects in the world. And whatever he reads in newspaper, that he makes it into a comic a cartoon which contains a lot of messages. So one interesting point is when Jayalalitha was Chief Minister and Nakiran magazine, you know it, they were depicting cartoons in Nakiran magazine. So Jayalalitha went to High Court, Madras High Court. The High Court gave two interesting judgments in which it said, you are not supposed to come to High Court. The reason is cartooning is an art and you are a celebrity, you must tolerate the criticism. And you cannot complain against a magazine. So it is depicting simple cartoons. And why do you take a pinch at that particular magazine? And a celebrity must tolerate any kind of criticism in society. That was they gave two interesting judgments in that period of time, including Nehru. I think in English magazine, they caricatured him without a cap, without a Gandhi cap. So he was taking seriously, and he took umbrage of that issue and he started criticizing. And Blitz said, our duty is to inform the public through a caricature, and it has got nothing to do with your character. So we don't want to criticize your character. We want to communicate something to the society. So that communication, maybe sometimes it may hurt the sentiments of the people or maybe the characters. But the cartoonist never thinks he wants to hurt you. So that's what the interesting point here is. Cartoonist speaks the truth, like a photographer, and he cannot lie. And a cartoonist can never lie. They are truths. So each cartoon contains a truth in society that is happening in and around. And many cartoons depict both sides, sometimes positive, sometimes also negative, sometimes very neutral positions. So we did a work on this, and we found out many cartoons focus only on personalities and caricatures, through caricatures, and less on government. They never talk about government in cartoons, and government policies are criticized. So any decision they take it, they will educate, they will communicate something to the government to change their policies. So if you see the history of cartoons and other things, and many decisions were changed depending upon a single cartoon. So that is the ability of a cartoonist who can change sometimes the policies of the government, and he will communicate the right time, the right picture. We often say that a right person at the wrong place, sometimes wrong person at the right place. So in cartoonist's case, it doesn't happen. He will communicate the right thing at the right time. So that is, you should appreciate the art of cartooning, which will be very helpful. So many times about R.K. Lakshman, people said, he deepened democracy in India because common man cannot speak, he is only a silent spectator to the events that happen, but R.K. Lakshman speaks through common man. Yeah. So that is the ability of R.K. Lakshman, and he spoke and he took the sides of a common man to support an issue or sometimes to negate an issue. So that's an advantage a cartoonist enjoys. And the cartoon does not occupy much space like news items. It occupies very less space in news item like a pocket cartoon, where really they put editorial cartoons. So small cartoon can give a lot of messages to the masses. So that is an advantage of cartooning. The interesting point again I repeat here, and the courses in cartooning must be brought into journalism programs, or maybe cartooning, some kind of a diploma program must be started. I suggest to the Embakshama and others, think about it, start a program in your state, you make a beginning so that other states can follow it up, and they will also introduce this kind of programs, and that will be very helpful to educate the masses. You need not write number of words in a newspaper or a book, simple cartooning, you can educate the masses. That will be very helpful. As long as newspapers live, cartooning will also be there. Now newspapers are changing their platform. So instead of reading a newspaper in your house, you are getting the newspaper on your mobile phone. So cartoon will also travel with the mobile phones.
Yeah.
So cartoon doesn't end, it will travel. And single cartoons, sometimes you say it's a cartoon, standalone cartoons, they have a lot of messages to share with the people. That is the best art we can say. Don't see cartooning as a funny or comic cartoons. Cartooning is a serious art, and the person who draws cartoons, he has to think seriously about issues, and he must make the public aware of certain issues that can be done only by a cartoonist. So I look forward to many such cartoonists to come up in Andhra Pradesh, also in Chhattisgarh, so that the senior cartoonists will bring their art and will pass on the art to the youngsters. That I want to wish and speak here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this occasion. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to call Mr. Anil Kumar Sahu, MD, Chhattisgarh Tourism Board.
Professor Divya Bhuti Saab, M. Shankar Rao ji, T. Venkat Rao ji, Hari Venkat Ramanna ji, Dharmak Sharma ji, esteemed cartoonists of Visakahapatnam and nearby states. I think most are from Andhra only. We have some from Chhattisgarh?
Yeah.
You are the lone flag bearer. Okay. And friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate Mr. Dharmak Sharma and the cartoonist fraternity in Visakahapatnam, who have organized this cartoon festival in Visakahapatnam. Visakahapatnam has always been on our minds, and I was always fascinated by this city of hills and sea. Actually, I had a chance to visit Visakahapatnam long back. It was in the year, I think, 2005 or 2006. So I always wanted to visit it again and again, but somehow I couldn't. And Dharmak Sharma's, when he said that he is going to organize this, and initially this was to happen in Raipur, and we were very enthusiastic that we will be having people from different parts of the country in our state capital. But somehow things got changed, and I said that now we're going to host it in Visakahapatnam. So it was a opportunity I grabbed with both my hands. I always wanted to visit Visakahapatnam, and now I'm really happy to be part of this function. And I again congratulate the cartoonist fraternity of Visakahapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, and Adhyapaka Samaji, Professor. And it was very enlightening to listen to Professor Murthy. Actually, we follow cartoons, but never went so deep inside the art of cartooning. So it was really enlightening and very educative to listen to you, sir. So thank you all for the consideration. Again, I say, come to the land of surprises as our state of Chhattisgarh. Thank you.
Now, with due respect, I would like to invite our chief guest of our function, Srimati G. Hari Venkata Kumari, Mayor of Visakahapatnam, to share how she liked cartoons and how she felt after attending this program.
Good evening to all. I am very grateful to join Cartoon Festival 2023 because our former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir also attended this function as chief guest. I welcome Cartoon Watch family and its editor Trayambaka Sarmaji to Visakahapatnam. I am very happy that this year you have chosen Visakahapatnam for it and fantastic 3 senior cartoonists from AP. I congratulate M. Sankarao ji, T. Venkatrao ji and Mr. Hari Venkatrao ji for Lifetime Achievement Award. I also welcome Managing Director Tourism of Chhattisgarh, Mr. Anil Sahuji, for attending Cartoon Festival as a special guest. I acknowledge presence of Mr. DVR Murthy ji as guest speaker. Publishing cartoon magazine continuously for 27 is not an easy task, and I have my blessings to Mr. Sarma ji to make this happen. Cartoonists bring smile to our face and give a new perspective for our life. My best wishes for great future ahead. Thanks a lot for inviting me to such a beautiful program.
I invite cartoonist from Visakahapatnam, Mr. Shakra Rao, known as Bali, to speak about his feelings for Cartoon Watch and this award. Please give a huge round of applause.
Welcome, Shankar sir. Dear cartoonists, artists, and art lovers, my heartfelt thanks to everyone for gracing the occasion. Thanks to cartoonists, come editor of Cartoon Watch, Sri Trayambaka Sarmaji, for organizing Cartoon Festival in Vizag and for this honor. My heartfelt thanks to Mr. Hari Garu also. Post-Corona, almost after 3 years, we are all meeting at one place to celebrate the art of cartooning. This gives me immense pleasure to be among all of you in this lovely evening. Thank you for your kind cooperation, my artists, lovers, that's right. ఎందుకంటే ఒక విషయం మన ఉభయ తెలుగుదేశాల్లో అంటే తెలంగాణ ప్లస్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో కార్టూన్ ఆర్ట్ లవర్స్ అనుకునేసరికి అంటే అనేసరికి కళాత్మక హృదయం ఉండాలని, కళాత్మక హృదయం ఉండేవాడికి కేవలం సినిమా కళాకారులకనే మనకు ఒక ఆనవాయితీ అయిపోయింది. కార్టూనింగ్ అన్నది అది ఎవరికి సాధారణంగా హృదయానికి పట్టదు, అసలు రాజకీయానికి అసలు పట్టదు. ఎవరో ఒకడు ఉండాలనుకోండి, దగ్గరగా ఇందాక మూర్తిగా చెప్పినట్టు అంతవరకు తీసుకెళ్తారు, మిగతా వాళ్ళకి దీనికి సంబంధం లేదు. అందులో పత్రికలు ఆగిపోయిన కొద్ది ఈ కార్టూనిస్టులు దాని ఉపయోగం కానీ దాని సరదా కానీ పక్కన పెట్టేస్తున్నారు. కానీ ఇవాళ కార్టూనిస్ట్ లవర్స్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ అందరూ చోట గ్యాదర్ అవ్వడం చాలా గొప్ప విషయం. అయితే ఇప్పటికే టైమింగ్ చాలా ఎక్కువగా ఉంది, కానీ వీడియోని మటు సంక్షిప్తంగా చెప్పడం మంచిది. కాబట్టి మీకు అందరికీ హృదయపూర్వక అభినందనలు చెప్తూ మరొక మారు చెప్తూ నేను సెలవు తీసుకున్నాను.
Thanks a lot, Shankar sir, for your kind words and blessings. Now, I invite cartoonists from Vijayawada who learned this art in prison, none other than Mr. T. Venkata Rao, known as TV, to share his feelings. Please give a huge round of applause to him.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. విశాఖపట్నం అనేది నాకు ఆర్ట్ స్కూల్ అండి. విశాఖపట్నం నేను ఇక్కడ సెంట్రల్ జైల్లో 6 ఏళ్ళు ఉన్నాను, నక్సలైట్ కేసు. అప్పుడు నేను ఆర్టిస్ట్ని అయ్యాను. అంతకుముందు నేను కార్టూనిస్ట్ని 1961 నుండి కార్టూనిస్ట్ని. అప్పటికి 18th ఇయర్ నాకు కార్టూనిస్ట్ని అయ్యాను నేను ఎర్లీగానే. ఇప్పుడు కాబట్టి నేను 53 ఇయర్స్ నా కార్టూన్ సర్వీస్ ఉంది. విశాలందరూ డైలీ న్యూస్ పేపర్కి కార్టూనిస్ట్ 53 ఇయర్స్ చేశాను నేను. ఈ విశాఖపట్నంలో కూడా నాకు అలాంటి అనుబంధం ఉంది. నాకు మంచి ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. తర్వాత మన శర్మ గారు, ప్రేమక్ శర్మ గారు, శంకర్ పిల్లయ్య గారి ట్రెడిషన్ని కంటిన్యూ చేస్తున్నారు. శంకర్ పిల్లయ్య గారు శంకర్ స్వీట్ని అడిగారు మేము చదువుకున్న రోజుల్లో. అది నాకు మంచి ఇన్స్పిరేషన్గా ఉండేది. శంకర్ స్వీట్ని, ఆర్కే లక్ష్మణ్, డేవిడ్ లో అంటే బ్రిటిష్ కార్టూనిస్ట్. వాళ్ళ కార్టూన్లు చూసి ఇన్స్పైర్ అయ్యేవాళ్ళం ఆ రోజుల్లో. ఆ ట్రెడిషన్ని కార్టూన్ వాచ్ నడపడం ద్వారా మన ప్రేమక్ శర్మ గారు కంటిన్యూ చేస్తున్నారు. అలాగే మనలాంటి వాళ్ళని ప్రోత్సహించుతూ కార్టూన్ కల్చర్ని ప్రమోట్ చేస్తున్నారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ శర్మజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I want to invite again a cartoonist from Visakahapatnam, Mr. Hari Venkatramana, known as Hari, to share his feelings about this event, award and cartoon watch.
Good evening, dignitaries, honored of the dais. I'm very grateful to Prayambak Sharma sir and the entire Cartoon Watch family for the Lifetime Achievement Award for me. But I will continue my speech in Telugu so that my message will be conveyed clearly. ఎందుకంటే నాకు 6 minutes టైం ఇచ్చారు కాబట్టి 1 నిమిషం ఇది అయింది. ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు మిగతా విషయాలు మాట్లాడడానికి ఒక మంచి డయాస్. చాలా కాలం తర్వాత కార్టూనిస్ట్ మిత్రులు అందరూ ఒకసారి ఉన్నారు, అలాగే సాహిత్య మిత్రులు ఉన్నారు. ఈ హిందీ ఆర్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఏది కావాలంటే లాస్ట్లో 1 minute మనం ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేస్తాం. యాక్చువల్గా 25 yearsకి కార్టూనింగ్ అది కంప్లీట్ అయింది. కరెక్ట్గా అదే టైంలో ఈయన ఈ అవార్డు చేశారు. అంటే నా డిగ్రీ బీకామ్ తర్వాత 97లో కమెండో అనే మ్యాగజైన్ చాలామంది వినే ఉంటారు. ఎన్కౌంటర్ కమెండో అనే మ్యాగజైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో. అట్లాంటి కమెండో మ్యాగజైన్లో నేను పొలిటికల్ కార్టూనిస్ట్గా నా కెరీర్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. తర్వాత కొన్నాళ్ళకి అక్కడ హైదరాబాద్లోనే చిన్న పత్రికల్లో పనిచేశాను. దాని తర్వాత మళ్ళీ తిరిగి వైజాగ్ వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ లీడర్ అనే ఒక పేపర్ ఉంటుంది, అది ఇక్కడ బాగా ఫెమిలియర్. ఆ పేపర్లో ప్రతిరోజు కార్టూన్ వేశాను. అంటే ఈ చిన్న పేపర్లో కార్టూన్ని ఎలా పొలిటికల్ కార్టూనిస్ట్ కన్సిడర్ చేస్తామంటే నేషనల్ స్టేట్ పాలిటిక్స్ మీద రెగ్యులర్గా కార్టూన్ వేసాను కాబట్టి నన్ను నేను పొలిటికల్ కార్టూనిస్ట్గా క్లెయిమ్ చేసుకున్నాను. అట్లా ఒక 2-3 years మాత్రమే నేను స్టాఫ్ కార్టూనిస్ట్గా పనిచేశాను. తర్వాత అప్పుడు 2001లో మనకి చాలా పెద్ద పరిణామం అంటే Y2K సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎలా వచ్చిందో యానిమేషన్ బూమ్ వచ్చింది. సో నేను కార్టూనిస్ట్ నుంచి యానిమేషన్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయాను. ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఒక 7 years 2D యానిమేషన్లో నేను పనిచేశాను. దానికి నాకు కార్టూనే ఉపయోగపడింది. అందులో నేను కార్టూనిస్ట్ అని తీసుకున్నాను. అప్పటికి అందరూ 1,00,000 2 లక్షలు యానిమేషన్లో ఫీజు చెల్లించారు. బట్ నాకు సింగిల్ రూపీ కూడా తీసుకోకుండా నన్ను సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని అక్కడ జాబ్ ఇచ్చారు హైదరాబాద్. బట్ మరి కార్టూనిస్ట్ చైతన్యం ఉండదు కదా. పొద్దుటి సాయంత్రం వరకు 6 గంటల వరకు యానిమేషన్లో చేసేవాడిని. సాయంత్రం వెళ్ళి ఒక కార్టూన్ వేసి అప్పటికి వెళ్ళేవాడిని. ఒక న్యూస్ ఏజెన్సీ ఉండేది మీడియా ఇండియా అని, వాళ్ళు కార్టూన్ వేస్తే అది ఉర్దూ, పంజాబీ, హిందీ పేపర్లో వచ్చారనమాట. తర్వాత ఒక 7 years అది బోర్ పట్టింది యానిమేషన్. అంటే చేసిన పనే మనం యానిమేషన్లో చేస్తాం, మన సొంత క్రియేటివిటీ ఏమో అందరూ అనుకుంటారు యానిమేషన్ అని. కానీ అవుట్ సోర్సింగ్ జాబ్ ఏంటంటే అందులో ఒక ప్యాటర్న్లోనే మళ్ళీ 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 పనిచేయాలి, సేమ్ లైక్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్. సో క్రియేటివిటీ ఉన్న కార్టూనిస్ట్ గారు నచ్చదు. ఇందాక చంద్రగా చెప్పిన కార్టూనిస్ట్లో రైటర్ ఉంటాడు, ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్ ఉంటాడు, క్రిటిక్ ఉంటాడు. కాబట్టి మనకి అది నచ్చదు, మన సొంతంగా ఏదో చేయాలి. మళ్ళీ వైజాగ్ వచ్చాను, ఇక్కడ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ పెట్టాను, అది లాస్ అయిపోయింది. మళ్ళీ కార్టూన్ చేశాను, నాకు వచ్చిన యానిమేషన్ అందరికి నేర్పాను. సో అలా నేను ఒక వరల్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నాను. దాని ద్వారా ఇన్కమ్ సోర్సెస్ జనరేట్ చేయడము, ఎక్కువ మంది నేర్పడం అట్లా చేశాను. సో 2007 నుంచి 2014 టీవీ గారు పనిచేసే రిటైర్ అయ్యే వరకు విశాలాంధ్రలో, అప్పటి వరకు నేను డేట్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టిస్ట్గానే ఉన్నాను. అలాగే చాలా చేశాను. 2014 నుంచి మాత్రం విశాలాంధ్రలో చేశాను. అప్పటికి ఒక మంచి డయాస్ దొరికినట్టు అయింది అన్నమాట. అంతవరకు కూడా మామూలుగా చిన్న పత్రికలు చేశాను. ఎందుకంటే విశాలాంధ్ర అనేది జాతీయ దినపత్రిక, దానికి ఒక మంచి రీడర్స్ ఉంటారు. మనం అనుకుంటాం అది కమ్యూనిస్ట్ పత్రిక, అందులో ఒకే రకమైన కార్టూన్ కాదు, అందులో ఒక స్టాండర్డ్ రీడర్స్ ఉంటారు, వీళ్ళందరూ ఉంటారు. కాబట్టి దానికి కార్టూన్ అనేది చాలా కష్టం. ప్రతిరోజు కార్టూన్ నేను ఫ్రీలాన్సింగ్ ఇంట్లో చేస్తాను. ఈరోజు ఇక్కడ ఈ మీటింగ్ వచ్చాను, ఈ మీటింగ్ రాకుండా విశాలాంధ్ర ఒక కార్టూన్ వేశాను, ఒక పొలిటికల్ పార్టీకి ఒక కార్టూన్ వేశాను. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఎలా చెప్తున్నాను ఈ స్టోరీ అంతా కూడా, మేము వచ్చే టైం కంటే 97 వచ్చే టైంకి మొత్తం వరల్డ్ అంతా ఒక క్రైసిస్లో ఉంది. అంటే పత్రికలన్నీ ఫైల్ డౌన్ అయిపోయి, డబ్బులు లేవు. కార్టూనిస్ట్ అందరూ ఒక రకంగా ఆలోచించారు. నేను ఓపెన్గా చెప్తున్నాను, అందరూ ఒక రకంగా ఆలోచించారు. 50 రూపాయలు రాలేదు, గవర్నమెంట్ రాలేదు, నాకు ఉద్యోగులు 30 అన్నారు. ఏమి నా బొడవ పెట్టుకోలేదు. 1 minute మేడం, ఒకే నిమిషంలో పొందిస్తారు. అవేమి నా బొడవ పెట్టుకోలేదు. ఎట్లా దీని ద్వారా మనీ క్రియేట్ చేయగలం, ఎట్లా దీని ద్వారా పిల్లలకు నేర్పగలం అని దాదాపు 15 సంవత్సరాలు నేను పిల్లలకి కార్టూన్ నేర్పాను. ఇలా కశ్యప్ గారు చెప్పారు కదా, ఈ ఊర్లో పిల్లలకి ప్రతి సంవత్సరం సమ్మర్లో ఎంతో మందికి కార్టూన్ ఫ్రీగా నేర్పారు. జీఎంస్ వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ ఈ సంవత్సరం కూడా ముందుకు వచ్చి సమ్మర్ క్యాంప్ పెడితే డెఫినెట్గా మనం పిల్లలకి కార్టూన్ నేర్పుతాం. సో ఇట్లా కొత్తగా కార్టూనిస్ట్ ఆలోచించి మనం మంచి వరల్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. నో నీడ్ టు థింక్ నెగటివ్. అలాగే పొలిటికల్ పార్టీస్ కూడా నేను కార్టూన్ వేశాను ప్రతి ఎలక్షన్స్కి. డిజిటల్ పార్టీ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో వేశాను, ఇప్పుడు కూడా వేస్తుంటాను. దాని ద్వారా కూడా ఇన్కమ్ జనరేట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఇలా కొత్తగా ఆలోచించి కార్టూనిస్ట్ నేషనల్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కెరీర్ అవ్వాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాను. నాకు అమెరికా వెళ్ళే ఛాన్స్ కూడా వచ్చింది. 70% నా సోషల్, 30% కార్టూన్ స్కిల్స్ కూడా దానికి కారణమయ్యేది. సో ఇన్ని విధాలుగా నాకు కార్టూన్ హెల్ప్ అయింది. కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ వెరీ గ్రేట్ఫుల్ టు కార్టూన్ అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.